What is it about playing in Australia that's so difficult?
Well, to start off the flight, it's too long. But I think, being from the subcontinent, the bounce is very different out here. It's, the bounce that the bowlers get is very steep. And it's something, that you can't really get used to very quickly.
Your bowlers must be loving that, but it's quite an inexperienced group, isn't it? Especially when you compare it to those big three and the batting that you've got.
Of course it is. That's what it looks like on paper. But, somebody asked me the same about the Aussie bowling side. And I said, why can't you think as if, there's a Shane Warne in the making or a Glenn McGrath in the making? Because you always start from zero. A first game is a first game for a legend or a good player or an average player. So, some of these youngsters may just come up and they may be one of the most successful bowlers in the future.
England thumped you mid-year 4-0 and you lost the #1 test ranking. Do you aspire to get back there?
Well, what we have always said is, we don't believe in ranking. Ranking is it's a process. Just because we had won in Australia or if we win at some other part of the world, doesn't mean we are the #1 side. It's a constant process. It's just a reflection of, what you have done in the past 1.5 years. Because in couple of series, you don't really get the #1 slot. So for us, it's about, proving ourselves, what kind of cricketer we are, how much we have improved over the years, rather than taking it as, you have to win this series or we are not the #1 side.
You've won matches with the bat against Australia, never a test century against Australia. How important is it on a personal note that you get those three figures?
For me, it's not about getting centuries. For me, it's all about what kind of a partnership I am in, with the #6 batsman and with the tailenders if possible. Try to get a few quick runs. And ultimately, if those, 40-50 runs help the team win the game, that's what is important for me.
There's an old saying in Australia that the two most important positions are the Prime Minister and the captain of the Australian Test team. What's it like in India?
Well, India cricket is among the most loved sport. I say, it's the biggest religion in India, because people from every religion, they participate in this sport. They have opinions about cricket, so we have got huge fan following. It can add pressure to a cricketer. At the same time, what it can do is look at the positive. There's so many people who want you to do well, and the only reason they want you to do well is because of the belief that they have in the players or in the team. So I think that's where we need to look at the positive aspects. Of course, it can get you bogged down at the same time, but there's more positives than negatives, so look at the positives.